Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your host, Logan Landers, and joining me today on this program to talk about NFL draft prospect, Mr. Trey Lance out of North Dakota State, is my man, Mr. Football, Vincent Turner. Welcome back to the show, Vince.
How you doing today, sir?
Hey, can't complain, Vince. We just got done talking about Zach Wilson out of BYU, and he's looking pretty good, but I'm ready to move things over to a guy named Trey Lance out of North Dakota State. I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this right now, they didn't really hear about this school until this guy showed up, man. But he's been having a tremendous season. He's been looked at as getting picked in the first round by a lot of these NFL teams coming up. And you told me he's got a great story. So before we get started here, Vince, one more thing. You guys are watching this live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, or if you're listening over on our podcast, thanks to the Believe Podcast Network over on Spotify and Apple. Thank you guys so much. Be sure to like, comment, share. Give it to those Facebook groups now. We love when y'all share it to those groups. I see we are sharing that, and it brings me some joy every single day. So I appreciate all of you guys tuning in. But without further ado, Vince, let's get into Mr. Trey Lance. Why don't you tell me more about this guy and why he's ranked so highly coming into this new draft?
Well, I'll tell you, man, I really like this young man here. When you're talking about Trey Lance, hey, man, he's probably, I think, the most underrated prospect in this quarterback class coming into the 2021 NFL draft. I know everybody out there is talking about Trevor Lawrence being at the top of the list, then A1, Justin Fields, A2, Zach Wilson. But when it's all said and done, this young man, Trey Lance, his upside is massive. Things I like about him, his size, 6'4", 227. That's a Cam Newton type size. He's got a great decision maker. What I mean by that, this is a young man, think about this. In his redshirt freshman year, he threw for 2,700 yards, but he had 287 pass attempts with no interceptions. 28 touchdowns, no interceptions. Think about that. Even in grade school, middle school, high school, college level, this young man threw the ball 287 times and did not even have one pick. He's a guy that can go through all his progressions and make all his reads. Another thing about him, he plays within the offense, and he's not a turnover machine, which is very, very strong when you're going to the next level. His athletic ability is off Lamar Jackson too, but more accurate. Not as fast as Lamar Jackson, but a more accurate passer. And the thing about it, he went to North Dakota State, and he was replacing a guy that's had some success with the Philadelphia Eagles and Carson Wentz. But when I look at this overall game, I just see everything that you like about a prospect. Like I said, we gave Zach Wilson an A+ for arm strength. I'm going to give Trey Lance a little more A+, A+3. Because when you look at the ball coming off that young man's arm, it's got a lot of velocity. And I haven't seen that in all my years since I was 10 years old when I was going watching Tennessee State play down in Memphis, Tennessee, and Crump Stadium when I was watching a man by the name of Joe Street Gilliam. And we all know about him. Eventually got drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. But to me, he's got some athletic ability by another young man that I saw at 15 years old, a gentleman by the name of Roy Coleman that played at the University of Ole Miss from 75 to 9. Roy was very athletic and smooth. That's what Trey Lance put me in the mind of. And then when you look at the combination of his size, speed, being able to make plays all over the field, he puts me in the mind of Reggie Collier that played at the University of Southern Mississippi from 79 to 83, a guy that really same stature, can do a lot of things like Trey Lance can do, but Trey Lance is more athletic. And then he's got that deep ball ability, man. He can throw it nice. And the only other guy, and this is going to touch your home, Logan, that can throw the deep ball, think about when Quincy Carter was at the University of Georgia. Ball looked good when it was going long, and even when Mr. Carter played with the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm putting all those traits into Trey Lance. But this is what I love about the young man. We talk about character all the time with these young men coming into the NFL draft, right? Think about this. When a young man was at Marshall High School in Marshall, Minnesota, he was president of Fellowships of Christian Athletes at a young age. He did that for 3 years. His redshirt freshman year at North Dakota State. You know what he did when other players on the weekend, when they was finished with their games, or during the week when they had study hall, he visited every church and hospital where North Dakota State is located. every children's hospital and read to young people that had cancer, young people that are suffering from drugs, young people that just had all type of emotional problems. Then during the pandemic here recently, he led a Bible study. He was the lead guy. But this is what I love about the young man that's going to separate him from any NFL draft prospect in this draft. When I talk about character, talking about being raised right, he has a saying, football is not who I am, it's what I do. I love football because it's my dream. But however, I thank God for putting me in this position and allowing me to build this platform. Think about it. Football is not who I am, it's what I do. You look at everything that you want about this prospect, arm strength, philosophy, where the NFL game is going now, where you got to have a dual threat quarterback who can make plays with his legs and arms and a guy that can read defenses. Hey, this is a special prospect in Trey Lance. If that's any negative, he's only played one season, which is 17 games. But think about when he was at North Dakota State his redshirt freshman season. They went 16-0. And I'm going to throw this one more stat out there. 2,700 yards, 2,787 passes, 28 touchdowns, 16 games, no interceptions. He's not a turnover machine.
Yeah, that is real crucial, especially in the NFL. You got to be able to keep the ball.
I know you lost words.
Hey, yeah, this guy.
I know you lost your words, sir.
Yeah, hey, he's a great prospect, man. I'm telling you, this dude is real special. And like you said, character goes a big way, especially in the NFL. That's key. So, Vince, I'm going to throw out 3 names for you here. I'm going to let you know what you think about these 3 guys, all right? So, first off, we got the Washington football team. Up next, Carolina Panthers. And finishing off, the San Fran 49ers. So what are your thoughts on Trey Lance potentially getting drafted by those 3 teams?
Well, I'm going to say this about the Washington football team. Of course, they need a quarterback. Alex Smith, we don't know how much longer he's going to play. If he's the end of the road coming back from a real serious injury. They cut Dwayne Haskins Jr. yesterday. I was very disappointed for that young man. Let me say that. I still think he got a lot of good football left in him. Trey Lance going into that situation, I just don't know, because I don't know if that's the type of guy Ron Rivera would like at his position. And obviously, I thought Dwayne Haskins would be a perfect fit under Ron Rivera, but for some reason they couldn't click. Now, the Carolina Panthers, you got to look at that. That might be an outstanding stumping ground for Trey Lance. You got Joe Brady, very talented offensive coordinator. We know what he did last year at the college level with Joe Burrow. I don't have to say no more. We don't have to put up the numbers Joe Burrow did. All we know, they won a national championship, and Joe Burrow won the Heisman Trophy. And I think Matt Rule will be an excellent coach. But for me, if Trey Lance, if I had my choice, I'm going with Kyle Shanahan and out there with the San Francisco 49ers, because you're looking at that type of offense that Mr. Shanahan runs, a lot of jet sweeps, the quarterback out on the perimeter making plays. I think it's perfect for Trey Lance. And then he's going to an organization we all know about, the 49ers, Montana, Roger Craig, the great Jerry Rice, John Taylor, Charles Haley. And then you look at what Mr. Shanahan did last year. He got a guy with Jimmy Garoppolo, and they got to the Super Bowl. But Mr. Garoppolo got hurt this year, so you saw San Francisco kind of took a step back simply because they didn't have that quarterback on the center. But that's who I think Trey Lance will fit in perfectly with, the San Francisco 49ers.
Hey, he looked good in that golden red. I know that. He looked good in it, but he fits that style perfectly. I think out of those 3 teams, that is the best fit for him as well. And I think he could give Jimmy Garoppolo a run for his money, honestly. That would be a great quarterback battle. I could see them definitely splitting a little bit of time, but it remains to be seen where he's going to get drafted. All I know is this guy is very talented, great character. Yeah, what are your final thoughts on Trey Lance there, Mr. Football?
Remember, he was an outstanding athlete also in high school where he played basketball. He averaged over 20 points a game. when you look at Trey Lance, you look at these small school prospects that came in the National Football League and had great careers. You can look at Phil Simms. He came out of Morehead State. Didn't nobody know what he did. He won 2 Super Bowl rings with the New York Giants. Then you look at Carson Wentz, who played in North Dakota State. But think about this. When I think about Trey Lance, my final words, he's out of a small school. A lot of people saying he haven't played a year. But think about in 1970, when there was a young man out of Woodland High School, Shreveport, Louisiana, had one of the best arms that ever came in the league. He came out of Louisiana Tech. He was an All-American high school in the javelin. And he's doing a pretty good job on TV on Fox. And he goes by the name of Mr. Terry Bradshaw. And you know what he did. He won 4 Super Bowl rings. He played at a small school at the time, Louisiana Tech. I think Trey Lance has got that type of skill level set with more speed and more potential than Terry Bradshaw came out when he came out in 1970. My final words on Trey Lance, I think he's the most underrated prospect in the draft. And I think any team that gets him, I think they're going to be very blessed if they take their time with him. And he's going to end up being a pretty good football player at the next level.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Vince. I think whoever gets this guy is going to get a gem of a quarterback. Like you said, he is kind of underrated just based off the fact that he is at a smaller school out in North Dakota State. But the Bison, hey, they're no joke, though. Like you saw what they produced with Carson Wentz. He had a great couple of years. He struggled a little bit this season, but he still got a lot of potential left in that arm. But we're going to see what Trey Lance can do at the next level. I know a lot of people are looking to see that this guy, he might turn some heads. He might get people looking more at those Bison down out there in North Dakota. So, well, it remains to be seen, man. But for all you guys watching us right now on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch, thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you enjoy listening to our audio experience, be sure to go over to Spotify. Just type in 100 Yards of Football, and you'll see our logo there on the 50-yard line, right, looking nice and pretty. Or you can also look for us on Apple, where we're also uploading videos almost every single day. These 2 videos that we just put up today with Zach Wilson and now with Trey Lance, they're going to be up in just a few hours. Also, be sure to check out all the other videos that we've done this week. A lot of game previews, other draft prospects videos, also some great Legends interviews with our guy Bobby Butler. So be sure to go check those out. Hey, Vincent, appreciate you coming on the show, man. I loved having you on, and I love talking football with you every time we get the chance, man. And I know we're ready to see what Trey Lance is going to do to the next level.
God bless and enjoy the week.
Hey, see y'all.